You've collected your data for your research. You want to analyze it using SPSS, but you don't know where to start from. No problem. We have artificial intelligence, specifically ChatGPT, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can use it to help you in analyzing your data in SPSS. Let's get started. The first thing is you need to provide enough context to ChatGPT. You need to tell ChatGPT the structure of your data. Now you could do that in several different ways. For example, you could simply type in a paragraph that explains your data or explains your research. Or you can copy the first few lines or the first few rows of your data set, including, of course, the variable names or the header of the data set, and just paste it in, ask ChatGPT to understand it, and then start asking questions. Or better still, provide what is called the codebook. A codebook is basically information about the variables you have in your dataset, which is exactly what I have here. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, paste it in ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT to understand this, and then we're going to ask follow-up questions. Let's go ahead and do that. So here's ChatGPT, and we are saying the following is a codebook for a dataset on the nutrition of under 5 children. We want ChatGPT to read and understand that, and the reason for that is we're going to need its help to analyze the data using SPSS, and most importantly, make sure you provide information about the version you want to use so it gives you the correct steps. All right, and I'm going to press the Shift key here and press Enter twice, and then we're going to go ahead and paste in our codebook. That is information about the variables we have, and we press Enter. Let's go ahead actually and just press this Send Message button. And here's the response from ChatGPT. It says it's actually understood. Let's provide the data set. We don't necessarily need to provide that. Let me know the specific analysis or task you'd like assistance with. I have no idea. So let's go ahead and actually say, you know what? I have no idea. So can you help me by giving me the insights that I can extract from the data set? All right, let's go ahead and click on the send message. And now, as you can see, it says, okay, based on the provided codebook, we can do some descriptive statistics. For example, we can calculate measures such as mean, median, and standard deviation on variables like household monthly income, child birth weight, and child age. It did understand the type of data that these 3 variables are. They are continuous, so we can do mean, standard deviations, and medians. Awesome. We can see the relationship between household monthly income and child nutrition. Gives you the variables on how you could do that. Relationship between parents' education and child nutrition. So we can look at the relationship between parents' higher education variable and the child nutrition indicators like child birth weight. We can see gender differences in child nutrition as well. We can look at child age and nutritional status. For example, looking at the relationship between child age and nutrition status variables, again, like birth weight and so on. That is awesome, but then I don't have an idea of how I can do something like this. Give me the steps for running the descriptive statistics in point number 1 because I have zero idea. Let's go ahead and send that. Okay, here we have our steps. Says open SPSS, launch SPSS version 21 on your computer, import the dataset. No, we've already imported our dataset. It's open in SPSS and it says click on the variable view tab on the bottom of the screen. Ensure the variables in your dataset match the codebook provided. Well, of course, they do match, but now it says then go to analyze in the menu bar and select descriptive statistics frequencies. Okay, analyze descriptive statistics frequencies. Awesome. What else? Move the variables in the frequency dialog box. So we want the HMI, the CBW, and CAM variables. Okay. HMI, CBW, and CAM dragged and dropped on the right hand side. Move, okay, we've already moved the variables. In the options, if you want additional statistics such as mean and standard deviation, click statistics button. Okay, we click statistics button. Then it says, okay, we mean, median, and maybe standard deviation. We have turned these on. Okay, that's good. Then click continue. Okay, click continue. Then we can go ahead and run the analysis. Okay, cool. We're just gonna go ahead and click OK there. And all right, we have the analysis, we have the output. So here we have the mean, standard deviation, and the median. That looks great. Okay, let's actually snap this on the right-hand side as well. So we have the output from our analysis. The next thing, obviously, we want to understand how we can actually report that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click this and copy. I'm going to say something like, here is the output from the analysis. Put a colon, I press enter twice after pressing and holding the shift key, then I paste the output like that. And then the next thing I want to do is I want it to write interpretation and report it in APA format. So I'm just going to write interpretation and report it in APA format. I'm just going to send this. And for sure, we have the output. So it actually gives us the interpretation at the top for household monthly income. The mean was that, the median was that. This indicates that on average, the households in the data set had a monthly income approximately that. For child-based weight, we have that and that. So it actually explains everything. That's the interpretation, but then gives us the APA format reporting. So the descriptive statistics analysis reviewed that and that, and we have, the correct format of reporting means and standard deviations, which is awesome. Now, one other thing you can do is you can ask it to format the table as APA format. I'll leave that to you to actually do. But also, instead of having to ask ChatGPT to give you the step-by-step, which is going to come out as steps you have to take on the SPSS graphical user interface, you can ask it to return what we call the SPSS syntax. Let's say I want to look at the relationship between the parents' highest education and child birth weight. Let's say that I already know the kind of analysis that I want to do, then I can ask it to just give me the SPSS syntax. And this is what I'm going to say. Write the SPSS syntax for ANOVA between PHE, that is parents' highest education, and CBW, child birth weight. Let's run that. And of course, instead of giving us step-by-step, it's actually giving us here the analysis of variance. I'm going to copy this code. And the way we're going to do that in SPSS is by going to File and going to New, and you select Syntax. And that's going to give you the syntax editor. And then what you could do is you can just paste in, and then you're actually going to select all of that and run it using this green play button here. Let's run that. And as you can see, of course, this was correct. Univariate analysis of variance. It actually gives us this output and gives us the test of between subject effects, gives us this as well. We could actually go on and ask it for further analysis. For example, maybe we want to add more options to the analysis of variance. We can always just say, okay, can we add something to this code? And it's going to do that. You come to the syntax editor and run it, and you're good to go.